Siamo Ciarmoli Queda, io sono Simone Ciarmoli.
Miguel Queda.
Lo studio nasce a Milano nel 2009 e dal 2023 abbiamo aperto una sede anche ad Atene. Questo evento racconta quello che siamo, uno studio multidisciplinare, ci occupiamo di architettura di interni e nello specifico abbiamo realizzato un concetto, una piattaforma che è Threads of Architecture. Threads of Architecture è una piattaforma, in questo caso abbiamo messo insieme l'aspetto culturale forte, architettonico di Manuel Burecas con un'azienda importante di 110 anni che ancora produce tappeti annodati a mano. In questo caso abbiamo voluto mettere insieme un heritage culturale fortissima e il modo per presentarla è stato attraverso uno studio dell'archivio di Emanuel Burecas grazie al Benaki Museum e diciamo che questo è un po' il core di questa piattaforma che vuole nel tempo cambiare attori, nel senso che stiamo parlando adesso con Beiriz, stiamo parlando con AMAG, un'importante rivista, una voce editoriale consistente all'interno dell'architettura, con base a Porto, ma con occhi sul mondo. Poi abbiamo voluto invitare chi ha curato questo progetto magnifico a Porto, Due Sporta, ovvero l'architetto Luisa Souto de Moura, insieme a istituzioni locali. Il Benaki Museum ci ha aiutato a capire di più su quello che è l'architettura potendo andare nei loro archivi e Doma in quanto media partner insieme ovviamente ad Archwalks a cui siamo molto affezionati.
Hi, my name is Luisa. I'm from Porto, Portugal, and I'm an architect, research fellow, teacher of the second year of architecture, and also mother of two. Today I will present Duas Portas Townhouse, an hospitality project in Porto. It's a very, very small hospitality project that only has 8 rooms, and it's located in a very special place in Porto, in Foz do Douro. Foz do Douro means mouth of the river, where the Douro River meets the Atlantic Ocean. It is a project of Luisa Patsa, who is my mother, and this is a family business and project. The approach of the architectural design is a very quiet and restrained approach that keeps the feeling of the existing building and the existing Portuguese Casa Burguesa, that means bourgeois house. It is very sober, very almost anonymous approach. It is a kind of architecture that doesn't need to scream or to needs to be present. It's very quiet, anonymous, and at the same time, it's not a nostalgic approach. So there is the concern of contemporary needs and comfort. If it has to work on the thermal acoustic comfort, has a more active approach to that. The materials that are used in Duas Portas project are local materials that already were in the existing townhouse, but also they were introduced new materials as concrete, but worked with a particular texture, hand hammered, and the texture at the end and the finish is very similar to the existing granite stones that the former building is built with. This idea of using different materials, introducing also new materials, but at the end the finish very similar between both. There are some spaces that you can't distinguish granite and concrete because they are used in a very fluid and in a very integrated way. I think you feel a very quiet and calm atmosphere. And there is a feeling that there is like a progression from the street to the garden, that you feel a progression of spaces and materials. So in the beginning of this path, you have smaller spaces with materials that were in the existing building, and in a very quiet and progressive way that you can't feel this difference, you found yourself on a more contemporary space. And it's a very quiet and progressive evolution inside of the building. And I like, and I think it's very special not to have this contrast between existing architecture from the 18th, 19th century and the new approach and the new kind of space, scale, and light and material that you can feel in some of the rooms and also in exterior places of the building. There are 4 rooms face to the river and 4 to the garden. And the house has 2 stone walls and then a middle one that was kept from the existing townhouse. So the rooms are between them, and that's why they are all different, because we kept the main stone walls. And also we add a new floor, and the height of this new floor is bigger, so the ceilings are different from the first and the second floor. They have this finish different. There is a flat ceiling on the first floor, but on the second floor you have high ceilings, which is quite interesting in terms of space.
Beiriz is a company that started in 1919, so it's 107 years old. It began in a small city in the north of Portugal producing luxury rugs in the technique of hand knotting. These rugs soon became very popular and started to export. These days we are present with a newer technology in most countries around the world, producing for luxury residential projects, but also commercial, hospitality, and yachts and private jets. We produce everything bespoke. Our clients come to us with their unique ideas, designs, and we try to execute them as close as possible to bring that idea to reality. We made 5 rugs, very inspired by the Voreka's architecture. The idea was to bring architectural elements into a more textile field, and the feedback has been very positive. We are very happy to bring 2 elements which are entirely different and bring them together.
Supporting this initiative. The embassy is not only a place of peace.
Un altro aspetto di Threads of Architecture è la messa in comunicazione di un'azienda storica portoghese specializzata nella lavorazione del legno con tecniche di ebanisteria con un architetto greco, quindi abbiamo sviluppato un disegno ad hoc con questa azienda realizzato da un architetto ateniese. Può essere molto interessante perché permette di sviluppare e di aprire nuove frontiere per quello che è il design in territorio ellenico con delle aziende portoghesi. In questo caso abbiamo chiamato l'architetto Argyro Pouliovali di ARP per disegnare la scrivania Praga. Please come and join us, Argyro.
My name is Argyro Pouliovali. I run architecture studio in Athens, ARP Architecture Research Practice. My main focus is residential architecture, but I'm also interested in doing smaller projects that investigate the same architectural ideas. For the event, I've developed a design for a desk in collaboration with Paularte. The desk is still very much about all the ideas that I'm exploring in my projects, which is about proportion, clarity of form, and architecture reduced to its core essential structure. It's about translating these ideas into an object, a micro-architecture scale. Actually, the form derives from this idea of structure, so it was said from the beginning that it will be a collaboration with Paularte, that they have this legacy with working with wood. All the thicknesses and everything is related to the material. It was really about how to have the simplest and more elegant form, working with the principles of wood and delivering something that's classic, I would say also. I think one feature that was important was revealing the leg all the way to the top and then dealing with the desk surface as a simple surface that is resting on the structural frame that's made out of wood.
Hi, my name is Leal. I'm the founder and editor-chief of AMAG Publisher. AMAG Publisher is an international architecture publisher that has several main lines of work, which is a magazine and 2 collections of long books and pocket books. We were founded in December of 2011 in Porto, and we are about to celebrate 15 happy years in this next December. We begin with a magazine, and then as time goes by, we develop 2 collections of long books that features only 1 project per book, and pocket books that are small books that feature theoretical subjects related to architecture. While AMAG is a monography that publishes works representing a path of an architecture office or several architecture offices if they are not so senior, if they are more young. The focus of AMAG is to create an archive of architecture buildings and projects and works that we believe that somehow can be a reference and an inspiration to the world and to professionals of architecture and people who admire architecture practice. Every time that I do a new book, I really think that is a book, and then it comes another, and the other is really the book. So, yes, all of them.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.